Hello guys, so welcome back to the Ultra Squad. Today this is actually a new what if Izuku learned magic. I hope you guys actually enjoy this what if, and with that I'll actually start this video. Now we start actually what if where Izuku is actually at the quirk doctor's as he's pretty much getting his quirk checked out. And it's not just Izuku getting his quirk checked out, Izuku's sister too, Izumi. Yes, Izuku will actually have a sister in this. I pretty much they're getting their quirk checked out, and Izumi right there will actually get her actually quirk, and pretty much right there it will be right there a telekinesis quirk like her pretty much mom's. As the doctor would say that, oh yeah, Izuku's pretty much quirkless, and he won't be getting a quirk. Izuku will be kind of shocked about this, as Enko will be kind of feeling down for Izuku. As pretty much right there, like ever since that day that Izuku was deemed quirkless, everybody actually knew about it. Now in this one, Hisashi is still in this one as yeah, so he doesn't really leave. So pretty much right there, like every day in school, people will start bullying Izuku for him being quirkless, as they even start calling him Deku originally. As pretty much right there, in this one, Bakugo will have a sister called Kasumi. So yeah, as pretty much right there, every time Izuku actually get bullied or called names that he's pretty much quirkless, or as Izuku would just go to the library. As once Izuku will get there, he will just start reading books, because Izuku loves reading books, and that's the only place he can truly actually feel comfortable. Nobody actually dare will actually call him Deku or pretty much quirkless, of course. And yes, and especially when he gets home, like Izuku will kind of be like ignored by his whole family. So Izuku will kind of be neglected in this one. So pretty much, as Izuku is actually inside the library after another day of being bullied, Izuku will actually keep back or the book that he actually just finished reading. Immediately, when Izuku kept that back the book, another book will actually fall on top of Izuku's head. What the heck was this? Izuku would say as he would pick up the book. As Izuku would look at the book strangely, he doesn't even know it. He never seen this book before. As Izuku would just open it, as it pretty much has some weird instructions and pictures on it about these weird symbols. As Izuku would look at the title, as it would pretty much say magic, a grimoire or something like that. Yeah. As Izuku would kind of be confused. Is this some kind of magic book? He would say as he would actually just take the book to his reading table, he would start reading it. As the book was pretty much where they gave an instruction how to pretty much use magic. Now this library that Izuku was pretty much in was actually pretty much of an old library. Nobody goes into it because like heck it's old and people are mostly on social media, so they actually don't go to the library at all. It's just mostly Izuku there. You will probably see about like two or like four people there, but Izuku mostly goes there when he's actually free, of course. As as Izuku is actually reading the book, he actually realized that this is actually an interesting book. That heck, probably he can learn magic, or if it's just actually pretty much fake. But heck, Izuku is actually interested. So Izuku would just go. He would actually go to the librarian, as he would ask her there if he could take the book home. Now the librarian is actually nice to Izuku, and she knows that Izuku is pretty much quirkless, so she gives him the book for free, saying that like, hey, he loves to read and nobody comes here, like it's not gonna actually affect really the business that much. Heck, they're even about to close down really in just about a few years, of course. So Izuku will actually take the book home, as right there he will just start reading it in his room. As Izuku, once he reads it in his room, about like what 2 hours will pass, Izuku realized this book is magic, as he was actually able to actually like what read actually one page of the book, pretty much right there like how to summon fire, which it took Izuku about like heck a few right there hours for him to perform this, as eventually he was able to actually summon a little like flame in his hands. Izuku was completely shocked about this, as he would just be completely right there speechless. I can't believe it. this book is actually really magic, he would just say. As pretty much right there from that day on, Izuku would just start reading this book on how to actually perform magic. Now, Izuku actually realized that this book, like him learning magic, it takes a lot of stamina. As once Izuku tries to perform right there, like to summon the flame again, he was completely drained from his stamina. As like what, Izuku couldn't really move that much, as he used up all of his energy to actually summon right there that flames. As pretty much right there, Izuku now realized that he needs to train his stamina for him to pretty much right there like what, use magic even longer. As if you could pretty much watch some animes, like what people like having magic, they actually need right there like a lot, like a big amount of stamina for them to even right there perform it. So Izuku for the past year will start learning magic. Of course, right there he will be bullied in school and like heck be neglected by his family at home, as they would start focusing on Izumi, of course. But Izuku would not actually care. He would start right there learning right there like magic, and also start training his stamina, of course, and also right there training right there his body right there for him to actually become strong, for him to be able to like what, do these like high level magic inside the future. As right there, as time will actually soon pass, is we will actually time skip to where Izuku is pretty much right there like at middle school. As over the time right there when Izuku like learned magic, he also took up martial arts because he realized that heck, in this world of heroes, like he's not like magic is not going to be the only solution. He's going to actually get himself into right there like a fight where he's going to actually use his hands. So yes, Izuku actually take up martial arts, of course. So yeah, as we go on to right at the present right now, as Izuku was actually in middle school, as the teacher would walk into the classroom, as the original right there, like heck, he would go on to explain right there that, of course, everybody wants to be heroes, of course, like the hero courses that they actually choose. Heck, of course I know you all want to be actually heroes, as he would fling the paper up inside the air, as everybody would start using their quirks, of course, a power there for a few people. As pretty much right there, Katsuki Bakugo would say like, teach, don't look me up with these losers. I mean, they'll be probably right there like be sidekicks, or actually like what, be work inside their companies right there if they're actually pretty much lucky with their lame quirks. As people will actually start be actually like getting angry at Bakugo and things like that. As pretty much right there, the teacher would say like, oh, I see. Oh, you did actually apply to go to UA. You, Kasumi, and Izumi. Oh, and also right there like Izuku. As everybody would kind of like look to the back of the class, as they would see Izuku there would just be reading his book with his headphones in, not paying attention to the class. As immediately everybody would just erupt in laughter, as right there they would actually start laughing at Izuku. Izuku would look on the class, as he pretty much right there was sigh, would say, as he would just say like, what are they laughing at this time? What did I do? And pretty much immediately right there, Bakugo would just jump out of his seat, landing on the top of Izuku's desk. Hey Deku, who even gave you permission right there for you to apply to UA? For the last time I checked right there, you don't even have a quirk. You're pretty much right there with a quirkless loser. He would say right there like immediately right there like what? Just right there like grabbing Izuku by the collar. Izuku would actually look at Bakugo, as he would give him a cold look. And pretty much right there, Izuku would say like, what's wrong? I can't apply to UA. I can always still become a hero even without a quirk. The rules, like I checked the UA, they pretty much right there like said that quirkless people could also apply to it. So yes, anybody can actually apply to it. They didn't say just people with quirks. As Bakugo was actually like about to use his quirk to blast Izuku, but Izuku, learning martial arts, seeing that like he took a martial art during the year, but his parents didn't actually pay for it. He learned it off TV and of mimicking people. Izuku actually grabbed Bakugo by the hands as he would actually throw him towards the floor, pinning him down, not able to use his quirk. Pretty much putting the palm right at the back of his back, making him blast himself. Kasumi and Azumi were immediately like would try to rush in to fight, but the teacher right there would just intercept. If you guys actually pretty much start fighting right here, I'll pretty much right there like inform you about your behavior, and you'll be expelled, and you won't be able right there to actually take the entrance exams. As pretty much right there, they will actually all stop, as the teacher would say to Izuku to pretty much right there let go of Kosuke. Izuku would immediately do that. Kosuke would actually just growl as he would go back to his seat. Immediately right there, like school would end, as Izuku was pretty much packing up his things, ready to go to his work. Izuku right there like thought that to himself that he wants to actually like become independent by himself, because once Izuku gets home, like his mom doesn't even pretty much feed him. And, like they pretty much just leave leftovers for Izuku, as like Izuku won't actually have anything to eat that much, because they really neglected Izuku, as they pretend that he's actually not there, and they're mostly focused on Izumi, seeing that she pretty much has like a strong quirk, of course. So Izuku right at the age of pretty much right at 13, he got himself a job, as he started working at a restaurant, of course. So Izuku will pack up his things, as he will actually completely like ignore right there, like the like what people right there telling him right there he's quirkless and things like that, as like Izuku will actually go and make it all the way to his job place. Once actually Izuku gets there, he will actually just start putting on his work clothes, and he will start another day in his restaurant, as Izuku was pretty much of a good cook, as he was pretty much right there like nearly second in command inside the kitchen, as pretty much everybody inside that restaurant loved Izuku's cooking, as pretty much as Izuku was actually talented at cooking himself, of course. So Izuku actually stayed at work for about 8 hours until right there like his shift was pretty much over. As Izuku was pretty much walking back home, he will actually just actually like take the same route original from the anime, where he actually met the slug villain just underneath the bridge. As Izuku is pretty much walking, he will feel like a cold like feeling behind him. At the moment, Izuku right there will just dodge out of the way, avoiding right there an attack from the slug villain. So you were able right there to detect me. Interesting. Izuku will actually completely actually just look at the slug villain, as he will actually ask like, "What do you want?" inside of a cold voice. "I just want you to give me your body, of course. I hope you actually don't mind," he would say, lunging toward Izuku. But Izuku will actually just actually go and use his actually flame magic, as he will completely burn the slug villain, as the slug villain would try to avoid Izuku's attack, but right there he couldn't actually get close to Izuku, as he would keep on sending flames of magic towards the villain, not being able to get close to Izuku. As Izuku right there decided to finish it, he actually channels right there wind and fire magic into one attack, and he completely engulfed the slug villain into right there a high heat flame, as pretty much he pretty much melted. Not right there killing him, because Izuku doesn't kill. He just pretty much right there thought that he's a sludge villain, so fire will actually just be his weakness. Immediately the sewer would actually soon open, as pretty much right there Ahmed would say "Have no fear, cause he would say, looking around, as he would just see the slug villain just in a pile of goop, and Izuku just standing there, just looking at Ahmed, as he's pretty much of a fan of Ahmed, not like a big fan original from the anime, but he's still a fan of All Might. All Might would say like, "Oh, I see the Sludge villain. This villain hasn't even like done anything to you. What happened to him?" Izuku would just say like, "Heck, I pretty much found him like this while I was just walking past." All Might would quickly ready take out a bottle that he had in his pocket, putting the Sludge villain inside of it. As before All Might can even jump away, Izuku would ask one thing. "Hey, excuse me, All Might, I have a question. Is it possible for me to become a hero even if I actually don't have a quirk?" Izuku would say. All Might would look at him as he would like immediately think about it. "Sorry, kid, but I don't think that will actually be a happen. You pretty much be a burden right there to like the heroes. Just if you actually try to become right there, try to become a hero, you need a quirk to pretty much right there like what beat right there villain. And if you're quirkless, then I'm sorry, then you can't become a hero." Immediately, All Might would just jump inside the air, leaving Izuku there stunned. He was completely shocked. His idol just told him he can't become a hero. As this actually kind of confuses Zuko because All Might always says that anyone can become a hero, just anyone. But hearing what All Might said, it just completely broke the one like what thought that he actually had that from All Might like he All Might might actually just understand, but he didn't. He literally told him that he would be a burden in battle if he tries to become a hero. Immediately, Zuko would just kind of feel annoyed by this, and he would continue walking all the way home. As Zuko is just walking home, he would hear explosion inside the distance. As like what? He would hear a noise and commotion. Izuku will walk towards it as he will see a huge group of people there. As Izuku's eyes will just widen as he will see the Sludge villain has that civilian captured. This is actually not Katsuki Bakugo or anyone like that. Like no, it is like so. Yeah, it's just a random civilian. And pretty much Zuko would just look around as he would act like, where are the heroes? Is there no heroes? Like this person is just about to get killed. I thought that like this armor actually pretty much took him away. Izuku thought. And pretty much like what? Izuku would actually see the heroes just pretty much there, but they did nothing. They were just standing there. Izuku was confused as he would just actually just shout out like, "What are you not like? What are you doing there? Like your heroes, go and help them." As one hero was just say like, "We don't have the right quirk for this." Izuku would actually kind of get angry as like what, like they're heroes. Like what do you mean you don't have the right quirk? Just go in and save them. You don't need the right quirk just to save like a person. As Izuku would just look at this like civilian inside a Sludge villain just being strangled. As Izuku would actually just see the look on this civilian's face as tears would just start flowing down right there his eyes. Izuku would get angry as he decided to do something. His hands would actually just start to glow green as he made sure nobody saw this. As Izuku would start like what having like controlling the ground, and pretty much right there like rocks would come out from the ground as they would slam into like the Sludge villain for their face, completely smashing it into pieces. So they're able to just kind of be shocked at like, wait, what happened? But Izuku was actually controlling right at the ground with his actually like what, with his earth control magic. And pretty much Izuku will just keep on slamming the rock inside the Sludge villain, not really hitting the civilians. But Izuku will actually change right there his like what, his attacks. As pretty much Izuku will actually start summoning right there spiral wind, aside two spiral like tornado wind as completely it would just engulf the Sludge villain, but not just that, like this wind blade would just start cutting the Sludge villain up into pieces, pretty much freeing the civilians. Everybody would just kind of be confused by this, like it's just somebody's quirk. It's like what is what's happening? They would just all be confused, but the heroes would see that would take the opportunity to see that the villain has just been freed, and they would instantly charge in. But before they can even really get close to like what the civilian or the villain, they would just hear one voice: "Detroit, smash!" just right there they were all here. Pretty much armor would just come in, destroying the sludge villain into like what millions of pieces. As right there, like what everybody would just see armor just standing there, just completely just blew away the sludge villain completely. As everybody would just say like, "It's armor," and they would all start cheering armor for defeating the sludge villain. Izuku would actually just kind of right scoff about this as he would just pretty much walk away. But unknown to Izuku, somebody was actually pretty much watching him. As Izuku was actually like what, walking all the way home, he was completely stopped by someone. I saw that. I saw what you did there. Izuku would hear, as he would hear right there a person right there like standing right behind of him. Izuku would turn around as he would see right there like a girl with purple hair with purple eyes. And she was wearing right there like a black right there like jacket with a white shirt. When like pretty much wearing right there a different school uniform. Izuku would try to play a dumb and he would say like, "What do you mean? I saw that you pretty much like don't play dumb with me. I saw that you pretty much use magic, of course." Immediately Izuku's eyes would just widen as like what Izuku would just turn into a calm one. So if you know that actually know magic, then that means you also know magic, right? As the girl would just pretty much nod her head, as pretty much like what Izuku. Oh guys, if you actually hear me saying Issei, like dude, I think I actually said Issei, but Izuku pretty much right there, like heck. If you heard me saying Issei in this one, I'm completely sorry, but Izuku. So pretty much right there, Izuku will actually ask, so what's your name? As the girl would just say like, "Oh yeah, my name is actually pretty much Elaine. Elaine Yukisumi." She would just say, and Izuku would just say like, "My name is Izuku Midoriya." I never expected to see her there like what, like a magic user. As she would say like, of course, as she would just like summon all 5 elemental magic, which would be like fire, wind, lightning, earth, and pretty much right there like water. So as Izuku would say like, "Nice to meet you." As pretty much Izuku would just actually make his way back home, as he would just go to his room, as he would just open up right there like his right there grimoire magic book, whatever. He would just start reading it, as pretty much right there like for the next 10 months, Izuku will actually start right there trading for right there like the UA. As 10 months pretty much pass, as Izuku will actually start his hardcore training. As Izuku always trained, like he already had his Izuku have his like season 4 body like already out. As so yeah, Izuku like trains in this one, so yeah, so really early. As for the 10 months, Izuku will just start practicing right there new ways how to use his magic, like how to actually increase his stamina, things like that, and just other things, of course. As until right there, like what the entrance exam pretty much happens. The 10 months has pretty much passed. Izuku's actually all ready, as like heck. For the 10 months, Izuku was just at Daycare Beach, as he was just using his like magic to actually improve on it and like what to clean up the whole beach, which he had done in about right there 3 months, of course. As right now, Izuku was actually at the entrance exam, as he was actually pretty much right there super ready for this. As the night before the entrance, the night before, like pretty much Izuku, sorry guys, Izuku right there like what was actually going to the entrance exam. He pretty much enchanted his clothing. Pretty much right there, like he enchanted his clothing with fire protection. Also right there, he actually put in right there like what regeneration, and also right there like what kind of like speed, of course, like speed enhancement, like just to make him kind of like fat, like super quick, of course. As Izuku like was actually kind of prepared because it's the entrance exam, like he doesn't know what's actually gonna happen, of course. So he just wanted to make sure. So as Izuku was actually at the entrance exam, he pretty much right there like was actually at the back seat as Izuku was sitting down waiting for the test to begin. He saw right there Elaine as Izuku, guys, if I actually said Isa, I'm completely sorry, guys. Izuku was actually surprised because he never expected her to actually show up to be in a place like this. But immediately the test begun, and Izuku actually would start writing the test. The Zuku will actually pretty much ready like be finished the test as it will actually go on to the practical. As President Mike will start explaining the robot points as he was explaining right there the 1 point robot like the one of the robots was pretty much 1 point. The second one was actually 2 points. The third one was actually 3 points. As like the last one, the 0 pointer giant robot was actually worth 0 points. So it was pretty much better for them to pretty much avoid it, of course. As they were pretty much put into different grounds, betas and things like that. Heck, Katsuki and Kasumi and Azumi was also there. As they were actually pretty much put in ground C, and Izuku was pretty much right there. No, wait, they were put in ground A, sorry. And Izuku was actually put in ground C. As he was actually in ground C with actually Elaine. As pretty much Izuku was actually going to talk to Elaine, but right there a blue-haired boy named Tenyak Ida pretty much stopped them. If you're here to actually distract that girl right there, lose her concentration, I will not allow it. Izuku would say oh, I pretty much wanted just to talk to her because I met her before. As he would just pretty much right there push right there Ida's hands off, but immediately Ida would try to grab onto Izuku, but Izuku right there would actually just pretty much right there fling Ida over his head as Ida would just actually land on the ground. Not really hurt, but Izuku would just actually flip him over just without even caring. As the moment he did that, President Mike would actually just start with just inform all the students or the people there that the test is about to begin now. As immediately the doors would just open as Izuku wasted no time and he dashes all the way out. And everybody would just look at him as President Mike would just look at the people. What are you waiting for? There's no countdown right there inside this hero right there test. Go, follow right there that mid-haired kid, that green-haired kid. He would just say, as immediately everybody would just start charging in towards right there to destroy the robots. But immediately Izuku would just start destroying them as he decided just to use his lightning magic as Izuku would just start really summoning lightning around his hands and he would just start chucking them at every robot he would see as he would just throw them at the 1 pointer, the 3 pointer, the 2 pointers. He would just keep on doing this right there for a while now for about 40 minutes until right there Izuku heck he was just standing just sitting on top of the roof building just looking around as he realized that he actually needed to stop because if he kept on going on this route, heck, there won't be actually any points for the other people. He wanted to see right there what the powers really are. The good thing is Zuko actually put protection on his gym clothes whatever outfit. Because these robots actually pretty much shoot at you as it wasn't really real bullets, but rubber bullets that was actually hurts a lot. But for Izuku, he could easily put up right there a barrier protecting himself. But he decided just to use right there his lightning just magic. As Izuku was about to actually seeing that the test was pretty much nearly over, just about right there 2 minutes was pretty much left. Izuku would just hear rumbling inside the distance as immediately the 0 pointer would just emerge from the ground. Everybody seeing this, they would just start running away. Izuku will actually just hear crying inside the distance as he will see original Ochako Uraraka stuck inside the rubble. As Izuku was just completely rushing there with this amazing speed, would get Uraraka there. He was just like what, lift like pretty much right there, like destroy the rubble that's actually on top of her, getting her out of harm's way. As Izuku will immediately like what, get or like leave Uraraka with Tenya Ida, which heck he found him, but Izuku would just go and charge, look at the 0 pointer, as he would pretty much ready to charge towards it. Izuku would just start gathering lightning in his hands, ready to actually leech it all in one blast. As Izuku was pretty much rushing towards it, the 0 pointer will actually go and crash his fist towards Izuku, but Izuku will actually just start jumping up inside the air really high, as he will land on top of the 0 pointer's right hand, and he will start running up towards his face. Immediately, Izuku was actually charging up right there like what? A giant right there like lightning explosion. But immediately right there when Izuku just launched the attack, he saw another attack combining with his own, as it was pretty much right there like what? A purple lightning attack that was actually like combined with his own, shot towards the 0 pointer as it completely just been destroyed. As Izuku just pretty much lands on the ground, as he would look towards who actually shot it, but to his surprise, he would actually see right as the person who actually like helped him. It was actually Elaine. As pretty much Elaine would actually just go towards Izuku, as she would just say like, huh, weren't actually expecting that, weren't you? She would say. And Izuku would just completely nod his head as he would just be amazed by this. He never saw purple lightning before, as immediately Izuku can actually sense that that magic was actually way more powerful than his own. As President might completely read their card, the end of the exam, and that will be it for this What If, guys. If you guys actually like this has actually been part 1 of What If Izuku Learned Magic. And without further ado, I will actually catch you guys inside the next one. Peace.